Hello everyone, welcome to Veranda IAS. In this session of Foundation Geography course, we'll be looking into the learning outcomes of the subject. What is geography? Geography is a study of landforms and physical features that we see and feel. So let us see what is the learning outcome of today's subject. Geography as such is a subject matter. It is useful for our exam, be it prelims, mains or interview. It is also a knowledge that you gain for your lifetime about the places around the world and our country. So let us get into the session. Demonstrate the importance of geography as a subject in UPSC. What is geography? Geography is defined as a study of world's surface, physical qualities, climate, population, products, etc. We know world's surface and physical qualities. We also can understand what climate roughly it is. And we also study about the population in different parts of the world. What are products? Products are nothing but, we know that few countries are famous for certain products. For example, France is famous for wine, whereas India is famous for spices. Why it is so? What is the natural resource distribution? That also we'll be studying in this subject. Geography helps us to understand the temporal and spatial analysis. What is temporal? We study a landform with respect to time. A mountain doesn't get built in a single day. It takes time over many years. So we'll study a mountain system for a temporal structure, like over time, over many years, for thousands of years. So that is temporal analysis. What is spatial analysis? We are not going to just study a single mountain system. We are going to study the mountain system around the world. So we'll look into the temporal and spatial analysis of the physical features and the phenomena that we are going to look into geography. Along with the scale. That means the dimensions and measurements are also taken into account. We cannot just like that say that Himalayan range is one of the largest range. We have to say with the data that Mount Everest is the largest mountain. So we have to have a definite data, dimension and measurement to analyze everything temporally and spatially. So we will also understand the features, that is physical features that we could see, like mountains, oceans, valleys, etc. Those are physical features. And we will also look into phenomenon. What are phenomenon? That we could feel, like climate, weather, day-to-day weather. So those will be looked into the subject. We must know this idea as such, that if it is a hot sunny day until maybe 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, it will be very hot, and suddenly it rains after 4 o'clock. Why does it happen? We know this happens, but why does it happen? We'll understand those small day-to-day activity, day-to-day life examples in this subject. So next we'll look into the classification of geography. Geography can be classified as physical geography, Indian geography, human economic geography, and map. This classification is with regard to the exam. So what is physical geography? It is about the physical landforms like mountains, oceans, valleys. Whereas Indian geography, we'll see what it is, and we'll see what is human and economic geography. How a geographical location of a region affects the human over there and the economic activity of the region. So if we study the physical part and the human economic geography part with regard to Indian geography, that is what we see in Indian geography. We'll see all these things with map. So all these three classification will be supplemented with map for better understanding. Obviously, we must have all used Google Maps. We use it to navigate from one place to another. Similarly, the maps in geography helps us to understand, we can see the whole world in a single glance. So that is the use of maps. And the map knowledge helps you visualize things in a smaller scale, and you can analyze better. Like even if you are very good in maps, you can understand, okay, if someone talks about a country, you can understand that where exactly it is located, in which continent it is located. So map knowledge is important for the exam and also after the exam. Okay. So why geography is included as a subject matter in UPSC? Since 2013, when IFR, Indian Forest Service exam prelims was merged with civil service prelims, the importance of geography and environment have increased. So it is important for us to focus on geography and environment for the prelims part. And it's better you analyze the trend, what kind of questions, what pattern of questions that UPSC asks for the last 6 years. so that you can understand what is the demand of the question currently. And it also helps you, if you could understand the pattern by analyzing the question papers, you can understand the pattern and you can at least predict what is the demand of the question, what might be the question. So that can help in you lessen the disaster in the examination. And it also helps you, these 3 points are before the examination, that is for the preparation part and during the examination. And this one, as an administrator, after getting into service, how the subject will be useful to you. You can, as an administrator, you know what are the resources of the region wherein you are posted, so that it will help you to put your plans efficiently and implement them very well, so that it is inclusive and sustainable. Because you have a rough knowledge about the resource while you are studying for the exam itself, and you can implement it very nicely with the understanding of the resources over the region. So that's how geography is important for our exam. So what is the weightage? Since, as we discussed in the previous slide, since it has been merged, it has been the importance of the subject geography and environment has been increasing ever since. And in mains, see, it's in prelims. In mains, we have general studies paper 1, wherein geography as a subject is included in that as well. It is a paper of 250 marks, of which almost 40 to 50 marks will be comprising of geography. So it is a very important level playing field in your mains as well. And in interview, obviously the current affairs part of the geography can be asked in interview, and also your local regions geography can also be asked. If you are from, say, Delhi, what is the geographical region of geographical importance of Delhi? What's the economic activity economic geography of Delhi? So those things can be asked in interview as well. So it is helpful for our prelims, mains and interview, and also after becoming an administrator. And it helps you understand the world and our country. If not for the exam, outside the exam also, we can understand what exactly is the phenomenon that we see, that we could feel, like why tsunami occurs, what's the reason behind it, why cyclone occurs. All these things we could understand. And we'll also understand the physical system that affects our everyday life, like weather, water cycle, ocean currents. These are few of what we are going to see in the subject as such. Next, we shall see how to read geography. There are certain things we have to understand in geography. We need to understand the concepts, the mechanism behind cyclones, how the mountain forms. So those things are conceptual understanding. These concepts can be easily understood with a clear explanation. Whereas memorizing facts, certain facts has to be memorized. Like we know certain places in India, but we have to know other important places as well with regard to our exam point of view. We know that capital of India is New Delhi. What is the capital of South Asian country like Vietnam, or any African country like Uganda? So these things are small things, but still we have to memorize facts so that we can put in our examination, like even it is prelims or mains. And logical analysis. If you are clear in these two parts, we can logically analyze certain things. We can correlate certain things and come to a proper conclusion while attending a prelims question, and by linking current affairs to the topic. For example, recently Suez Canal was blocked due to a ship. What's the reason behind it? That will be dealt in the different subject. We here, since Suez Canal is in the news, we have to see what are the countries near Suez Canal, why it is economically important to the world trade as well. So linking the current affairs to our subject geography, the geographical region of, so geographical physical feature of the region as such, which is coming in the current affairs. Next, we shall see the syllabus for prelims. It comprises of Indian and world geography, just a single line syllabus, but still we have ample amount of information to study under this single line. We'll read about physical geography, social and economic geography. These two are put together called as human geography. How the geography affects the social and economic condition of the people in India and the world. Now we shall see the mains geography syllabus. We will see about the salient features of the world physical geography, like oceanography, geomorphology, climatology, etc. And we will also see the key natural resource across the world. Natural resource in the sense, what are like as we said, why wine is important, wine is so famous in France, and why spices are famous in India. So these natural resources, and what are the reasons behind those natural resources getting formed. Like we also know that Arabian Peninsula is famous for its rich oil reserves. That is also, those things, key natural distribution will be studied in this part. And we'll also see what are the factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector. Primary means farming, fishing, mining, all those. What are the reason behind the location of this primary sector, whereas secondary like manufacturing sector. Why car manufacturing companies are mostly in the western part of the world. So those things are also dealt here. And tertiary, service sector. Information technology, communication services, banking services, tourism sector, everything will be what are the factors responsible for its location. I'm just giving you an overview, not as such. The topic expands even more than this. These are just your key points. And we'll also look into the geophysical phenomena such as earthquakes. We must have often heard in the news. We must have heard about tsunami as well. We must have heard volcanic eruptions. It's also in the news. And cyclone, we experience this every year. And so these things are studied in the subject as such. We also study about the flora and fauna and the effects of such changes. This subject as such will relate you to the environment perspective as well. So what does UPSC test you in the exam process? It tests you on the basic understanding of the subject, with the fundamentals of geography, like how well you are good in the conceptual understanding, like geomorphology, the process of formation of cyclones or tsunami or as such. And it also tests you on the factual knowledge, like asking about the physical features around the world, the deserts over the world, and the names of certain rivers, the basin of the rivers as such. So these things are tested along with the knowledge of maps. Knowledge of map helps you directly or indirectly in your prelims, and it also can be used in the mains answer writing as well. You are supposed to remember the important cities, rivers, physical features and peaks around the world. So all these things are tested in the exam point of view. And most of the static topics that we study over here are linked with the current affairs, and the questions are asked, be it national news or international news. The geographical perspective of the current affairs part as well is tested in the examination. Well, in this session, we saw about the importance of geography, what are the advantages of studying the subject as such, the prelims and main syllabus, and how to approach the subject. Let's meet in the next session. Thank you.